What? You're telling me the scientist of the Red Ribbon Army is still alive? Hey guys, DB here, and today I am continuing with What If Mercenary Tao Turned Good? And this is a what if that I haven't really updated since April of last year. Basically, I wasn't sure how to keep Mercenary Tao relevant, as well as, be able to tell an interesting story that differs enough from the original. So that had me stumped for a little while. So with that, I was obviously started with other what if ideas and getting them off track. However, I think I now finally have a way to keep Tao relevant and to keep the story, relatively interesting. So, where we last left off, the Namek saga had wrapped up like it does in the original. All the Namekians have since wished for a new Namek, and they find out the news that Goku is still alive and that he will be back within a year. Just like in the original. And, yes, Goku has landed on planet Yardrat with, Frieza's spaceship. Frieza's spaceship, do you right? Yeah, well, remember how I said in the last part, Vegeta didn't damage Frieza's spaceship to the point that he did in the original. Everything was pretty much still working and easy to use, so Goku was able to get the ship to fly him off world, and, well, just by luck, he still basically ended up on Yardrat anyway. And, so meanwhile, things on Earth have been relatively quiet lately, especially since Vegeta is flying around the galaxy trying to find Goku and, of course, wipe out Frieza bases like he does in the filler. And, well, meanwhile, a certain menace has resurfaced. Someone from Piccolo and Gohan's past. This would be Garlic Jr., who has begun his assault on the lookout and has captured Kami and Popo, much like he does in the original. Now, yeah, Tao and Korin did sense, something was going on the Korin's tower, but after not sensing anything for a little while, they thought whatever that was, it was just something dealt with. Perhaps, Kami was, experimenting with the Room of Spirit and Time again, or perhaps took a little trip in the, inner lookout. Something like that. Something that Kami does, occasionally. It's just the sort of energy they were sensing briefly was, something of similar that Korin would sense every now and then. So they give it no further thought. And well, then Garlic Jr. releases the Blackwater Mist, much like he does in the original, infecting the whole population of the planet. Everyone releasing their inhibitions and their evil sides start coming out. Of course, just like in the original, Gohan and Krillin's non-canon girlfriend are able to avoid it. And, essentially, we get the whole brief battle at Kame House with, Gohan and Krillin having to fight off their friends, and Piccolo ultimately coming down there and saving them all, but not before being bitten and supposedly infected himself. As we know, of course, Piccolo is immune to it. But the bad guys don't know that. Shh, don't tell them. And, so, with that, Krillin, along with, Marin, take Marin up to the Korin's sanctuary, much like in the original, and, he informs them about everything that's happened, that Garlic Jr. has returned, and that apparently he's, attacked the lookout, taken Kami hostage, and now they've got Piccolo too. So that wasn't just some trip into the inner lookout Kami was doing, or no room to the Room of Spirit and Time. Well, I'm sorry, Tao, but sometimes even I make mistakes, I suppose you do. Not everyone is perfect. Well, I suggest you leave your girlfriend here, Krillin. Meanwhile, we'll deal with this Garlic Jr. I could use a little more garlic on my lunch anyway. And with that, Tao joins them, and they end up on the lookout, and of course the battle between the Spice Boys and our heroes goes off. However, things are going slightly differently this time around. The battle's not so one-sided, with the bad guys pretty much dominating most of the battle. Because Tao is there, and remember, he had training on King Kai's world, and can use the Kaioken. So, it's a pretty even battle, even with Piccolo, pretending to fight and hurt Gohan. And of course, he does, pretend to bite Krillin, telling Krillin his plan, as well as doing the same to Tao. And so, eventually, they're able to release Kami and Popo from Garlic Jr.'s bottles, like they do in the original, and with a final attack from Tao, Krillin, and Gohan, the Spice Boys are more or less taken out, while Piccolo and Garlic Jr. are going at it one-on-one, and, of course, Popo and Kami are off to go into the inner lookout to undo the damage that Garlic Jr. has done before the effects of the Blackwater Mist become permanent. And, well, basically, with the addition of Tao, he's able to basically sort of be that secondary support, especially once Piccolo starts beginning to fade in and out of existence. This, of course, happening because you've got the former Guardians attacking Kami in the inner lookout, because Kami's only supposed to venture in there when he's ready to retire being the Guardian. It's the resting place of the former Guardians, and, well, Kami's now gone deep enough that the Guardians aren't really willing to let him go, so to speak, and that this is basically a violation. And, well, with Piccolo having to deal with that, it's basically up to Tao to be the remaining muscle of this fight, with Krillin being pretty sore, and, well, of course, like in the original, Garlic Jr. resorts to opening the dead zone. However, ultimately, the former Guardians do choose to forgive Kami like in the original, and the antidote to the Blackwater Mist is released, and everyone's condition is reversed. And now, it is up to Gohan and Mercenary Tao together, who fire a combined ki blast that destroy the Makio Star, and forcing Garlic Jr. into the very dead zone he created. And this time, he is not getting out. So that beautifully wraps up that little side arc. And once again, our heroes save the world from certain destruction. And so, we now begin to head into the timeline, where now Mecha Frieza is about to make his appearance. But first, not before a certain prince makes his landing. Frustrated that he couldn't find Kakarot, but he had to come back, his ship was running out of fuel. And, gets the whole bad man pink shirt and everything. And then suddenly, everyone is frozen in their tracks in terror once they sense two very high power levels orbiting the planet. This, of course, is Lord Frieza and King Cold, who are looking to get revenge on a certain monkey. I don't understand, Frieza. Why don't you just blow up the planet from orbit? Please, father, do not deny me of my vengeance. Vengeance is an art form, and I shall have it. It tasks me, and I shall have it. Come on, you gotta laugh at that reference. Anyways, I couldn't resist. Alright, so, with that pretty much coming around, everyone assembles right where Frieza is due to land. And of course, you've got Tao there as well, Gohan in his Saiyan armor, Krillin, everyone is ready for action, and they're all approaching very quietly, trying not to raise their energies at all. However, that pretty much becomes unnecessary when the duo are met by a certain young stranger. This, of course, would be Future Trunks, who cuts down Frieza's men just like he does in the original, and essentially dispatches of Lord Frieza, and King Cold, moments after that. Exactly like he does in the original. Taking out Frieza with his sword and then blasting away King Cold. And of course, looking to the spotting the rest of the Dragon team there, where he informs them that Goku is scheduled to land here in a couple of hours. And well, he has heard stories and knows roughly most of the Dragon team that are there, but he doesn't know who this guy is with the ponytail and the moustache. He's never heard of Mercenary Tao before. And so, with everyone wondering who this stranger is and how he knows Goku, essentially, Goku does make his landing course 2 hours later, just like the boy said he would, and except, instead of a sand pod this time, it's another Frieza ship. Which they're a bit surprised. Are you sure Goku's in that thing? Trunks curious because according to what he knows from his future, it was supposed to be a Saiyan space pod. Oh well, a slight difference, but the door's open and Goku does indeed emerge from it, and he's curious to see everyone there waiting for him, and sees this mysterious young man he's never seen before. Future Trunks, of course. And they all fill him in that this guy took out Frieza for him. Yeah, and he's even a Super Saiyan like you. Super Saiyan? Wow, that's pretty cool. Use your head, Kakarot. You and I are the only true Saiyans left. This guy does not make any sense. Talk! However, future Trunks just ignores this and asks if he can speak to Goku on his own, much like he does with the original, and that's the exact same conversation from the original, warning Goku that 2 androids are going to basically attack and decimate the planet. And that pretty much all the Z Warriors die except for Gohan, who's supposed to train him, but eventually the androids kill him too. It's a pretty dark and bleak future, and of course the realization that Goku doesn't even get to fight these androids. No, he is supposed to die of a heart attack. And well, after that, Trunks makes his leave, much like he does in the original, and Goku's left pondering how he's going to tell everybody, but don't worry, Piccolo does that for him, much like he does in the original. What? You mean the scientists from the Red Ribbon Army survived your attack? This isn't good, Goku. You really should have fought that battle to the finish. I know, Tao, I know. Gee. And, well, Piccolo, Piper going, perhaps we can change this future. If we spend our time training in preparation, then these androids shouldn't be able to take over the planet. At the very least, shouldn't be able to kill us. And with that, everyone is pretty much in agreement, and everyone goes their separate ways and begins training. Now the training with everyone else in the timeline goes exactly like it does in the original, but Tao, being an extra, his training is very different. He does pretty much choose to pretty much train himself in isolation, at least mostly. And he does stop by Capsule Corp and asks Bulma for the Dragon Raider. Bulma, who reluctantly gives it to him, given their history. I mean, to some people, Tao is still sort of not trustworthy. I mean, we usually help them fight off the Saiyans and help them deal with Frieza. I mean, what more does this poor man gotta do? But anyway, Bulma does decide to trust him with the Dragon Raider. Now, what's Tao going to do? Well, when he does locate all 7 balls, which he's able to find in pretty much a day, he's a lot more stronger than what his original counterpart, Kaioken. He can easily find the Dragon Balls within a day. And so, he summons Shenron and asked the dragon if he could unlock his full potential, like Guru did with Krillin and Gohan on Namek. Yes, that's no problem. Your wish has been granted. And Tao gets a serious boost and upsurge of power. Training is good and all, but if the future is anything like this future Trunks says, then Tao is going to have to do whatever he can to get himself stronger, even if it means, asking, for a favor with the Eternal Dragon. After all, this is to defend the Earth. And plus, ever since Super Saiyan Goku came into the picture, we need to find a way to keep Tao relevant, otherwise this story's not going to go much further. And so, with that, Tao continues with his training on his own for the next 3 years, with the exception that he does do some training with Master Roshi as well. He pulls the old master aside and wants to do some one-on-one training with the rival of his brother, Master Roshi. And Roshi can tell that Tao is nothing like what he used to be. And he's certainly nothing like the Crane Hermit anymore. So he's willing to teach him. But Tao wants to learn something very specific from Master Roshi. What that is, I'm not going to tell you yet. It's actually a surprise for later. And, the 3 years come and go, and our heroes meet on the big mountain overlooking Papaya Island, and I think that's pretty much where we're going to leave things for right now. So, what do you guys think of this story? Did you enjoy it? How are things going to differ with an extra man on the front, Mercenary Tao, and how is he going to ultimately make a difference with the Android and Cell Saga? Well, all this and more next time as we continue this What If. Alright, as always, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, I do really enjoy comments, guys, but I must ask that you don't notoriously spam the comment section. You know what I mean? Like, sharing your thoughts is cool, but can you limit it to 1, maybe 2 comments? I do get some people who just spam me with comments, and half of them don't even make sense. And I don't know if this is because whether this is just some troll spamming random stuff or whatever. But yeah, I've had to block a couple of people because they weren't stopping. I'd asked them to stop. Leaving your thoughts in the comments for a story is great and all, but notoriously spamming the same things over and over again on every video I do, it's it's spam, it's annoying. So yeah. And ultimately, it's in a way it's a bit uncomfortable. So yes, if you can leave your thoughts in the comments, but keep them, respectable and relevant to the content of the video you're watching, then there won't be any dramas. So thanks for listening, and I will see you guys next time.